So after the small matter of an 826-mile round trip from my front door to Ibrox, I've returned back to civilization, as it were. Actually, Glasgow was a really nice city, good experience as far as that was concerned. The game itself was much more concerning, and if you've had a look at the match review and the match vlog, you'll kind of get the picture that we were slow, we were ponderous, we were lacking in any sort of invention and all of those things. In actual fact, Jarrod Bowen himself, there's an article on Hammers News. So you can go and have a look. You can read the quotes directly, and I'm going to paraphrase them. But Jarrod Bowen has basically said that the quality was just not up to scratch. We was playing against a Rangers team that, in terms of their preparation and the crowd and all of the things, that we were basically in all but a sort of an environment that would replicate in a lot of ways a game against championship opposition. And we just weren't good enough. I think that there was a little bit of an improvement once the substitutes came on, the younger players. Bit of a damning indictment, that, don't you think, though? These are kids, and they're replacing much more seasoned pros who, by and large, will probably be the players that we will be relying upon. And that's a concern in some cases, and I'll get on to that. But that we improved after they came on, and I don't think an awful lot of them are going to be utilised, truth be told. But what do you think? But get your comments in the section below. And as always, guys, if you do appreciate the content that we kick out, just give us a like, give us a hype if you've got one available, because that's what pushes the content out to places that otherwise wouldn't reach. If you could also share this onto your socials as well, that pushes it out a little bit further still. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, if I can draw your attention to, in the top left-hand corner, that QR code, that will take you to the YouTube subscription page, where subscribing is free, data safe, and it only takes a couple of seconds of your time. And as always, we thank you very much indeed for your support. Come and join us on the journey. But yeah, so Jarrod Bowen's actually come out and said himself that the quality wasn't there. We were slow. We was just sloppy, coughing up possession in areas of the pitch that, against a sort of like an opposition that's maybe more sharp than Rangers showed in the game at Ibrox, that maybe we get punished. Unlike what happened yesterday, Mads Hermansen obviously managed to keep a clean sheet, and you could argue that maybe the defence did its job, and I would probably accept that point. But in terms of an offensive force, there was just nothing there. And part of the problems, like I say, there's two concerns that I've got, really. Because Jarrod Bowen is absolutely correct in his criticisms, 100%. However, there's two problems I've got, because at the minute we've got two strikers apparently they're strikers, or in the case of one of them, apparently he's a striker, Pablo and Taty Castellanos. Now, let's focus on Pablo first off. So, Pablo is, look, sure, he's a lovely fella, and you can't deny he works hard. That's those bits out of the way. Next, what I'm going to say is my opinion on him in terms of his professional attributes. It's not an attack on the man, but in terms of what he offers West Ham United, he's just not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not. He didn't set the £20 million price tag, and I understand that, but he is not good enough. He definitely wasn't good enough in the Premier League, and I'm not convinced that he has shown anything in pre-season. Look, he scored against Colchester, but that's behind closed doors and no one can really judge. Okay, great, he scored. We don't know whether it deflected in off of his backside and flew into the top corner or what. We haven't got a clue. We can only go on what we're looking at, which is the Southend game, the Stevenage game, the Rangers game. Now, I've been there for 2 out of the 3, and the Southend game I watched on the stream. I've not seen anything from him really that would give me any sort of reassurance that in a championship season of 46 games, when we're trying to get promoted back to the Premier League at the first time of asking, that he's going to be a significant contributor towards our offensive output. I just don't see it. I think he's just not good enough. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. And then the other member of that strike force, Taty Castellanos. I've seen a story today on the One Football website. And this was a story that flared up a couple of weeks ago, which said that Taty had basically made it known that he didn't really have any intention of playing the upcoming season as a second-tier player in the English pyramid. And that all seemed to sort of die down, and we've moved on with life. And Taty's, to be fair to him, has carried on playing in, obviously, the pre-season friendlies so far. But now this story's resurfaced again, and we're obviously getting that much closer to the beginning of the sort of like the real business end, you know, in terms of obviously the Carabao Cup game against Portsmouth, and then obviously the curtain raiser away at Burnley. And Burnley will be a tough test. You know, they got relegated with us, and they will be the home team. They'll be wanting to come straight back to the Premier League at the first time of asking, same as us, same as Wolves. All three teams will be trying to attack it, and they've got an opportunity to give us a bloody nose in front of their fans and set the tone for their season. We need to be up for it. We need to be prepared. And I'm not convinced we are. And Taty's obviously, according to this story, says that he wants to move on. Bit of a concern because, as I say, this is the second time in the space of a couple of weeks this story's reared its ugly head. And I think if he goes, I would be really, really just forget concern. I think at that point I would become full-blown panic mode. And I'm not someone that tends to panic unduly, but I would just be like, really? You know, he's arguably our best offensive output. You could make the case that Jarrod Bowen is not, you know, you could probably say, okay, fair enough. But Bowen and Taty are the two offensive outputs that we're really relying upon, because, as I just said, Pablo's not good enough. And at the minute, our left wing options are James Ward-Prowse and Maxwell Cornet, which is quite staggering, really. Another thing that I've seen again on the One Football website is that we've been linked with a striker. Hooray! But we've been linked with multiple strikers. Let's not kid ourselves on. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at this one and just scratching my head with it. I can't really make it out, because and best of all is that we're actually behind Celtic as far as this player is concerned in the pecking order. This is just great, isn't it? We're behind every club. They seem to be stealing a march on us, and we're not getting our stuff in order that we need to. And his players, Matteo Cancellieri, I believe is his name, and he's on the books of Lazio. He's been out on loan. I think Empoli and Parma are the teams in question. Last season in Serie A, his stats were mind-blowing. 30 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. Now, my son had a little look and he said, well, in fairness, Dad, he did only start 21 of them. And I'm like, okay. But he said, but he was substituted, I think he said, in all but 7 of them on the games that he started, which then makes me go, well, hold on. Then if he's not completing 90 minutes more often than not, what is it? Is it just not good enough, or is he not fit enough? Which is it? I'm not too sure whether this is actually a player. I mean, look, great, we've been linked with a player, but we've been linked with multiple players and nothing ultimately have come of it so far. I mean, coming back from Glasgow, we stayed at the Holiday Inn by Glasgow Airport, and we had to got an Uber back from there to Glasgow Central Railway Station. And the cabbie was actually a Celtic fan, and we got chatting because obviously we've been linked with a number of Celtic players, Rio Hatate, for example. But I was actually having a chat with him specifically about Arne Engels. He turned around and said, I think that this guy is up to sort of the standard that West Ham would need, you know, and he reckons that he would definitely be able to cut it in the Champ, and would very likely be able to cut it in the Prem. And he turned around and said, yeah, he would be a good player for you to go for. But again, we've got to make the deal done. And it's just, like I say, radio silence is just absolutely killing us. And look, I get that there's many rumours, and with some people like it, some people don't. Look, the nature of obviously what I do on the channel here, it relies upon rumours, because if there's no rumours, there's no content, and it becomes a very bare shelf sort of thing as far as a YouTube channel is concerned. So obviously I need the content, the rumours to make the videos and get your opinions and all the rest of it. But a lot of these rumours, a lot of these connections that are coming out, like I say, this Matteo fella from Lazio, I just go, well, his stats aren't really sort of anything that you're going to write home about. 30 appearances, 20, I think it's 30 appearances, 21 starts, all but 7 of them he's been subbed off, and he's got 4 goals and 2 assists. Doesn't scream of someone that we need to sign. Knowing our luck, we'll probably pay another 20 million quid for him. We'll end up with 2 Pablos. Brilliant. Absolutely ridiculous. But like I say, even Jarrod Bowen's now saying that we're just not up to the standard we need to be. It's there for all to see. It's hidden in plain sight. But what do you think? And like I say, Taty's now apparently making noises that he wants to go. That would leave us with Pablo. Worrying. Very, very worrying. Get your comments in the section below and let me know what your thoughts are. As always, drop a like on the stream, give us a hype if you've got one available. That helps to push this out to places it otherwise wouldn't get. Share this onto your socials as well. That stretches out the reach a little bit further still besides that. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, have a look at the top left hand corner, the QR codes there. Just get out your mobile device and scan that. It will take you to the YouTube subscription page. Scanning that, as I say, it's free, data safe, and it takes a couple of seconds of your time, helps grow the channel into something bigger than it is right now. Come and join us on the journey. We appreciate your support. See you next time. Come on, you irons.